Peptides are powerful and often misunderstood.
And we're here to change that one conversation at a time.
I'm Dr. Kylie Burton.
And I'm Jessica Bricky.
This is Pep Talk, Peptides Unpacked. We have a fun one for you today. If peptides were a color, what color would they be and why? But before we get into that, let's understand why color impacts us, how it's an energy, how it's a frequency, and even down to the cellular nucleus. We brought on our color expert today, Laurie Moore. She has a book called The Color Constitution, which we will also get into more about the end of it. But Laurie, first, why color?
Why color? Well, I will tell you from a very personal story. Let's see, it's been 35 years ago. I lost my mother to cancer, and we could spend, a whole half an hour talking about this experience. But if I just shrink it down to a summary, the night we brought her home from the hospital, we pulled into my family home, the driveway, and my mother was reclined on the front seat. The hospital had called and said, she's not going to make it through the night. We knew her wish was to pass it home. So as we pulled into the driveway, bringing her home from the hospital, she was reclined on that front seat, and she opened her eyes, looked over out the window of the car to the front lawn, and said, "Look at that white horse." And I looked at my dad, and he looked at me, and we looked at the front lawn, and we couldn't see a white horse. And my mother began to cry, and she exclaimed, "It's more colors than this world has ever seen." And over that next 8 days, as her body continued to deteriorate, and finally she graduated. It's how I like to put it, from this world. She was gifted with many experiences of what felt like being able to see between this world and the next. And many of those described the colors that this world has never seen. So once she had passed, color became my solace of just having that connection to hoping to be able to see what my mother had experienced before she left. So I have, for over 30 years now, anything and everything I could study and learn about color, I was all in. And that led me to teaching color psychology classes and holding some really fun retreats where we dive into the history, the science, the energy, how to heal with color, how to identify your color personalities, how to dress with color and makeup, and all the fun stuff. Color is everywhere. And that's one of the things that I have become so passionate about. And what led me to writing the book was that if you understand the power of color, then you develop what I identify as a secret superpower of sorts, because you can use color to your advantage. And color is really all about energy and frequency. So we can look at, maybe I call it the woo-woo side of color and the mystical symbolism, but there's also a very valid science behind how we are affected by the frequencies of each color. How's that?
Wow.
I could just keep listening. I keep
I
going.
know if anybody was watching us, I'm like leaning in farther and farther because this is so remarkably enriching. I have my little background on me is that yes, I'm a massage therapist for 35 years. I'm also a functional nutritionist and all that. But prior to that life, my degree of study, my bachelor's degree was in food marketing. And
Mm.
of course, when it came to that, we talked a lot about color and the way that we would respond to the buy when it came to color. So in the marketing world, that is something that is studied immensely too. But I had no idea that it would go this deep. So I can't wait to hear the rest of it.
Yay, that's
Teach
awesome.
us the
Well,
science of color, Laurie. We're listening.
All right. Well, here's the fascinating part. We think we see color as, for instance, we're looking at the green plant and we think, oh, the plant is green. Well, in reality, the plant is, because of its molecular structure, it's absorbing all of the different colors around it, but it is emitting the one color, which is the green, and that's what our eye is picking up. So let me back up a little bit. Everything is energy. And again, I know that sounds a little out there, but here's what science has proven. All the way down to the nucleus of a cell, there is an energy that to date they haven't yet been able to fully explain. But what they know is it is a vibration, it's a wavelength and a frequency that's being emitted. And that cellular entity of energy is found in everything from the plants, the animals, us as humans. Everything from this solid desk that I'm sitting at once was, it was originally a tree, a wood that came into being this desk. And you would think, well, how does something like, metal or a solid piece of wood or plastic or whatever you have, how is that energetic? Well, it's interesting because we can now actually measure through modern science a vibration that is happening in every element. So, one of the things that is so fascinating as humans, we are affected by color everywhere we go. I mean, color is in every environment that we step into, from our home, from our office, to being out in nature, climbing in your car, whatever it is, all of that matter has a vibrational frequency. So, color is actually a light frequency. And as that light is emitted, depending on which frequency or wavelength, how fast or slow it's moving, is what color is actually going to be picked up and seen by the human eye. So, knowing that makes it something that becomes very powerful, because if I intentionally need something to calm me down, and I know that the frequency of, let's say, the color blue can help me achieve that, then I can intentionally either wear something blue, surround myself in something blue, go lay on the grass and stare up at the blue sky. It's just every single color has its own imprint. It's symbology, if you will, in history, but also in science and frequency. So, learning color and how you can utilize it can be that amazing untapped tool to help you create everything you really desire. Cool or cool?
I,
Cool.
I'm
Yeah.
almost speechless as I'm listening to you. I all these thoughts going through my head. Like I redid my office, which massage therapy is done here. A lot of healing is done here, and it's all done in blues.
Mm,
Well, that pretty much goes in line with everything you said. But the other thing I was thinking is I'm looking at Kylie's background, which is white, which made me think about all these white spaces that I go into. My girlfriend, who's a graphic designer, says she can't produce if she's not in a completely white space. Like she can't be an artist if she's not in a completely white space. So when we talk about the color white, which is a color, but also not a color, it
it
is
is
a
a
color.
color. It's all the colors.
How does white impact us? Oh, it's all the colors.
Yeah. So here's an interesting fact. Black is a color that absorbs every other color. That's where it becomes, a muted space, where white is a reflector of every color. So white is the perfect space to create in. I also think it's interesting that in the current society that we're living in, there's so much chaos or darkness, if you will. And white has become so popular in the habitat space, in homes, in offices. It's in style right now. And white feeds that ability to create space, to create the structure and the resonance of a safe place. So it doesn't surprise me at all that white has become such an instinctual thing for so many people, but also that the market would pick up on white is important right now to create what people are craving and needing.
My house is white. I have a big white house with double wide black doors, and
Mhm.
my kitchen is too white, in my opinion. I didn't design it. It's too white. And like everything we moved in, when we moved in, was white. And I'm like, Mom, you bring some paint over. I don't care what color. Just bring some paint over because I can't have all the white everywhere. But it is the creative space.
Yes,
Like
it's
I
the
didn't,
blank
we
canvas.
walked into probably 50 different houses. And I was like, I want my house to walk in and make me feel energized, make me feel wealthy, make me feel like I did the things I needed to do to get me to this location in life and to feel majestic and all those things. I would do the kitchen a little bit differently, throw in some different color backsplash, but I
Yeah, the
understand
kitchen's
the
fun though.
white component as well.
Yeah, kitchens are fun. Well, white in general because it is that blank canvas and you can use any color to create the atmosphere that you're looking for. One of my favorite things is working with realtors to help stage a home or teaching them how to do it, right? As a potential buyer pulls up to the house, you can influence their mood and their um, desired outcome from the green plant on the front porch to a splash of red inside of an area in the house where you want to create conversation to maybe some green and yellows that feels like it's just a vibration that or a high vibration room that you feel refreshed in. So there's again so many avenues in different areas where we can utilize color and make it our own secret superpower. And when you talked to me about potentially looking at how the peptides can associate with different colors, I thought, oh, of course we should talk about that. How fun would that be?
Yeah, let's
Well,
get
let's
into it.
jump into it. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, which one would you like to discuss first?
I think, Kylie, let's start with the TA1,
Okay.
thymosin alpha 1, because that one, it's a favorite of ours because it really is about modulating the immune system, either an overactive or an underactive immune system. So what I mean by that is, so with an underactive immune system, somebody that's either getting sick all the time, or if they do get sick, they're slow to recover. Or the opposite of that, we think of autoimmune issues with an overactive immune response. So thymosin alpha 1 comes in to help modulate that on whichever direction the body needs. And it's pretty remarkable because it's not like we're telling it one action or the other. The body knows what to do with this particular peptide. So what does that mean with color?
Yeah, well, first of all, I just want to say that's one of my favorites. And as somebody that has struggled with some thyroid issues in the past, I am seeing some amazing results with that. So, one of my favorites. Now, I will tell you, I would definitely come back to the color blue, like we began to discuss, and even the blues into a turquoise, which is a little splash of green. And the reason being is blue is the color that creates not only calmness, but it's a trustability. It's utilizing, reminding the body that it's safe to be me. And I really feel like that's what the TA1 is so good at, is bringing you back to yourself. The turquoise side of that is more on the tranquil but the creative. That's think of whenever you go on a vacation, if you were going to speak to AI and say bring me up an image of a vacation, more than likely you're going to see the turquoise colors of the tropics or the ocean. And it's one of those that just makes you feel like you want to take a deep breath, like, okay,
Yes.
all's going to be well, right? So blue, in fact, let's see if we can flip over. One of my favorite things in the book is each of the top 12 colors has 8 pages for each color. So we can learn all kinds of things. So I just want to give you an image of the blue, and um, we'll throw this up on the screen. So, whoops, go this way, go that way. There you go. Um, so
If
just
you
so you
guys
have
can't see the video, go grab the book, The Color Constitution on where is it? Where can they find that, Laurie?
thecolorconstitution.com, you can buy the hardcover limited edition book, or you can get the digital version on Kindle on Amazon.
Oh,
So,
and
And you guys,
looking
this
at this, I think you need the hardcover.
you need the
yeah,
hardcover,
it
and this is not like a normal size book. Like this is a full page, 8.5 by 11, solid cover, hardcover, really nice book.
idea of all things color for sure. So let's just look at some of the main attributes for blue. Blue is seen as being responsible, it's trusting, it protects, it creates security, it's calming, like we expressed, it relaxes, which is interesting because the TA1 is all about calming that immune system, that
Mm.
overactive immune system down. It creates hope. And who isn't looking for hope? If they're a candidate for the TA1, then hope is something that they're really longing for. And peace. Who doesn't want peace? More peace in their life, right? Let's calm the chaos and put things back in order. And blue is really good at representing all of those things. So, how about that?
I yeah, the jaw just does not want to come up off the ground. I'm rarely speechless, Lori. And I definitely am. I'm loving what we're learning. Okay, so that's TA1. We
Yes.
can go into the next one. Selenk.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Selenk. So Selenk with the peptide, with the telemedicine company that Kylie and I work with, is offered as a nasal spray, but a lot of people will do this as an injectable. We just feel that the nasal spray version is a little bit better. But Solank is really for emotional balance, stress response, but more importantly, cognitive function for focus. So that's where we see Solank being the um, winners with those that are struggling maybe with things like ADHD. Um, just for me, I think as I feel like all tabs open in my brain,
Mhm.
Solank will come in and say, okay, we can get to work and we can get these tasks done.
Yes. Okay, so my first response to Selenk is I think of purple or violet. And the reason being is that color is known to be it's moving very fast, but it's like very small wavelengths, but they're so think of like a an X-ray or the um, gamma rays. Those frequencies, when used in healing the body, they're moving extremely fast, but they're also along the lines of bringing in extra awareness. It represents wisdom. In a lot of history, purple was used as the color for royalty, and it was that step above the common. So, if we're working on helping our brain to be the clearest and the most focused, the best it can operate in, purple's a perfect color for that. Bringing in imagination, luxury, it inspires. There's also it's known to be a color that's connected with spirituality. And of course, our brains being clear and open helps not only our body function better, but also our insight to the world around us, right? Compassion, it's also a secondary color for peace. The interesting thing about color to me is that the color purple in general, it's one of the, well, if not the top color that children choose as a favorite color. If you lined 10 little kiddos up and said, what's your favorite color? 9 out of 10 are usually going to say purple. Now, is that innate? Is it because to me they might still be closer to heaven and not so corrupted by this world that we live in? Maybe, I don't know. It's just my perception, right? My perspective. But purple is such a fun color to just, it's a color that makes you feel like you have got life by the tell. You've come up through the ranks of some of those other slower moving frequencies, and you're operating in a place where you can be in contribution. Does that make sense?
It does. And I'm thinking like when I was a kid, teen years or whatever, favorite color, purple, lavender, favorite color.
Yep.
It's not, but it's not even on my top five right now.
Uh-huh.
Not, and as you're saying, I'm like, I love purple, but it's not, wow, I'm corrupted by the world.
Yeah. Yep. It is one of
I
those.
think when I think of purple, we have some purple plants. I don't think they're lavender. Andrew thinks they might be lavender, but they're huge. They've grown huge this season, this spring, and the bees love them.
Mm, yes.
Love that purple.
Yes. Well, think of some of your favorite smells that would, identify as a purple smell. Think of a grape soda, as a kid. Wasn't that one of your favorites? Or a lime Ricky as an adult is still fun. The smell of lavender is very calming and healing. What about, a lilac in the spring is such a yummy, refreshing smell or fragrance. So there's so many different attributes that color contributes, from its movement to its smell, to the frequency that's happening behind it. But definitely purple is going to be that one that we would associate with our brain and our higher knowing.
That makes a lot of sense. Wow.
So Selenk, purple, TA1, blue. Should we do BPC 157?
Yeah, and TB
TB
500, that
500?
combo. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would love you to share more about why those are some of your favorites.
BPC 157 is my favorite. This combination is called the Wolverine stack for a reason, so we can heal like the Wolverine. In fact, I haven't told anybody outside my family this. I just signed up for a half marathon in St. George.
Kylie, that's amazing.
Good for you.
It's October 3rd, so I'm like, okay, I have June, July, August, September, I have 4 months to get my BPC. And I told my friend across the street, I'm like, you're gonna have to inject me with this. I'm on the capsules right now because it's still the whole needle thing. I'm still getting past it. But I'm on the capsules, and I've had problems with my knees since 2012, like literally for 14 years. I ran Ragnar, and that's where my knees just have never been the same. So I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna make it through 13 miles, which at first I was like, who on earth would do something like that to their bodies? That's just stupidity. And then a friend ran the Ogden Marathon this past Saturday. And I met her with 3 miles left, and I ran the last 3 miles with her. And I was like, okay, this is a cool atmosphere. It's like a celebration at the final. I could do that. I could do this just to be in the atmosphere and the energetics of it all. Speaking of energetics and frequencies, and like I like to be in those environments because it picks people up and keeps them motivated. So that one for me is like, I'm going to put this one to the test and see, am I dragging my left knee by the time the 13 miles are up, or am I in good shape? We'll find out.
There
Yeah,
you
so
So
BPC and
think
TB 500 are going to
injuries.
target like soft tissue. That's going to be their big target. So we're going to see improvement in joints, tendons, ligaments, but also the gut lining. That's a big one, which is so important because obviously that is vital to our brain health because we make so much of our brain neurotransmitters in the gut. It's vital to how we absorb nutrients in general. If there's too much inflammation, we have a leaky gut, then we're going to have a problem with digestion. So BPC 157 is excellent at tightening up those gut junctures. So it is, and then for me, I tried to chop off a finger at one point and I did do the injections and it was like I could almost watch it heal within from not even be able to breathe on it. 72 hours later, I was massaging. So it was really remarkable the speed at which this worked at healing. It's incredibly fast, incredibly powerful for gut and any soft tissue in the body. Remarkable.
So
And inflammation, and lowering inflammation.
yes. And Kylie, you said you are taking that one in the pill
I
form,
have
correct?
capsules of it right now. Yes.
Yeah. I think it was one of the first that they discovered could actually do its job all the way through the intestines and the
Digestive
stomach
tract.
without. As far as the needles, I might be weird because I've gotten so used to doing my injections that my hubby comes through the door and I'm like, come here, let me stick you with this. I haven't quite convinced him that he likes needles yet, but I'm working on
I
it.
keep telling Kylie once she does it and realizes it's really not going to be painful and all of those things, then she's going to be just fine. But it's getting over that hump. Mine sat in my refrigerator for weeks because I was afraid of it too. And then once I did, I'm like, oh,
Yeah, for sure.
but
And
we'll
if
get
you
we'll
get
get we'll get her there.
that just have the little insulin needle, I mean, it's like the size of a hair. You don't even feel it.
It's
It's
so
easy
tiny.
peasy. Yeah, it's all good. Okay, so
Well, we'll
let's
have to do a
try.
podcast when I order it and then I'm not sticking myself. Jess can stick me for me for Jess can stick me. But the funny thing is in chiropractic school, we had to take a phlebotomy course. It was a must.
Mhm.
I can stick other people. It's just the whole sticking myself. I'll get there. I'll get there.
As
But
you
I
say.
have motivation now because I got a deadline. I got to make 13 miles on October 3rd.
Yes. Well, and that could be a whole nother topic, right? Is where to apply the injection. I know that some people get like injection fatigue of constantly
Oh,
poking themselves in the same area. And some people have their favorite spots that they've found. Like for me, I can do it in the top of my thigh and don't feel a thing, where others have a favorite, spot on the back of their hip or something. So it just get to doing it, toughen up, do it a couple times, and then you'll be like, what? Why did I make that such a big deal? I
it'll
promise
be
it's
so
not.
worth it.
It's so worth
Well,
it.
Should she be in a room with a certain color when she's doing this?
Yes, yes. Let's talk about that. So I'm going to take you to the color green when it comes to these two because green is green is vitality. Green is all about renewal and recycle. And just like you talked about, just with the healing the gut, this is a fresh start to having your insides working properly. And with green, green is all about healing. I mean, we think of the different areas where green can be incorporated from a nice yummy green smoothie to stepping outside and putting your bare feet in the fresh green grass. How many people love the smell when the lawn's been mowed in that fresh cut grass smell? It's one of my favorites. Maybe I'm
Same.
a little strange. I'm a country girl at heart,
Same.
so yeah, so maybe I like that smell. Green is very grounding. It is all about vitality and refreshing the system. So if you are focused on creating balance in the gut and in the body, green is the color that I would definitely tie to the BPC 157 and the TB 500 for sure.
I
Cool.
have a quick selfish question.
Sure.
When you said BPC 157 should be tied to green, you connected it with the heart.
Yeah.
What's your
So
thinking?
because if you go to some, let's just say from a history or a cultural standpoint, we could talk about the energy systems that are most people would like to call the chakras.
Uh,
And green is identified as the energy center of the heart. So, knowing that BPC is also good for your cardiovascular system, it just does so much. It's kind of that overall first peptide to start with, I believe, that can create repair in all areas of the body. But the green and the heart is again the renewal, where we create the hope, where we create the recycling of the old, moving out the story that used to be, and bringing in the possibilities of the regrowing and refilling our bucket and, just raising that vitality level. So, does that help tie that in from both sides?
Yeah.
Good.
So,
To me,
but to,
BPC 157, TB 500 is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like, To to know that we can live better longer with these things,
Mhm.
use them safely, safe sourcing, all the above, but connecting BPC 157 with the heart chakra and green, I think that resonates not only with me, but with a lot of people. When I have a bunch of shelves in the front room of my house, so we have the TV and then you have the shelves that line the sides of it. And when I switch out those shelves during a different season and they're bare for a day, it makes the house feel so empty. I go to an expo a couple months ago, or maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, I don't remember, where you were, and I had two trees with me as my background on my expo booth. Those two trees are also in my bedroom on the side of my bed. I just took them from my bedroom. And then I got back and Andrew's first question was, where are the trees that belong in our rooms?
That
It
belong
just,
in our rooms. Yeah.
yeah, it just seemed so empty to him without that green there, even though it's a pretend tree. Heck, I'm professional at killing things, so I put pretend stuff in. But it still makes a big difference. That little green on the
Yeah,
shelves, in the corners of our bed, like,
absolutely. Yeah.
well, going
Any,
back to what I asked before, so Kylie, when she gets to the place of injecting and it's something that she's nervous about, would you say, surround yourself with a certain color? Would it be blue because it's calming and those things, or is there something else like that might help her when
I
she's
have a
when she's
green
doing
room
that?
upstairs.
there you go.
My old
It
office used to be, well, it still is green. Now it's just Easton's bedroom.
There you go. Well, and I would say green is a great place to start. But it could be as simple as walking out to the front porch and just being surrounded by nature and, being able to have that breath of fresh air to go ahead and inject yourself to have the courage if you need it. But it could also be as simple as a favorite color. Everybody has a color that is their perfect resonance. And for instance, we all know Dr. Kylie loves pink. Her branding is in a bright pink. You often see her wearing pink. She has some really cute business jackets that I've seen her in that are spot on for her. So find a color that you innately are drawn to and know that that could change, at any given day or even with your mood shift from being out and about to coming home or in a private setting to a public setting. But we have built into us an innate knowing of what the body needs. If we can just pause long enough, take a breath, and ask, okay, what do I need right now? And in relationship to color, that can actually become a really easy thing to resource. One of the freebies on my website that I love to give away is called the Color Constitution. It is a color chart that you can put anywhere in your home, in your office. My favorite is to put it in my closet. So every morning when I wake up, I look at this color chart, and the first color my eye is drawn to, I know is usually the frequency, the color that is going to support me best for that day. And I've even gone to where I'll pick a secondary color to support that first color. So, perfect example. I knew when I got dressed today that I needed red. Red is very grounding. Red is a power color. Red helps to create confidence. So, getting intentional with whatever color you're in need of. It really is simple, and you can utilize lots of tools to help facilitate that and to learn more about what each color offers. So that's one of the main reasons I wrote the book, right? I've been teaching for decades, and not instead of, but in addition to coming to a live event, we now have the opportunity that anybody anywhere can pick up their book and learn or tap into a certain color to utilize its benefits. So, yeah, the color connection chart is a fun freebie that's available for anybody. And if you look at the chart, it gives you just a little one-liner for each color that can remind you of how it could benefit you.
I
So,
think I need to expand my clothing budget because I only have like three colors in my closet.
and that's
Black,
okay.
white, and pink.
Hey, there you go. That's probably the
I
funniest
do
thing.
have some blues.
Yeah, since the
I
book
need to
came
add
out,
greens.
every time I run into somebody that I know, they're like, "Oh, I knew I was going to meet with you." And I was like, "Oh, shoot, what color should I wear?" Like, it really doesn't matter to me. I like all the colors. Wear what color you need to feel your best. So,
Well,
All
do we
right, we
want to
got
cover
one more.
one more? Okay.
sure.
Chloe.
Mm.
So Chloe.
Klow. So Jess introduced this for us, and
Yep.
then we'll dive into the color as we finish up here.
Clo is the compound of four different peptides. So we've already discussed BPC 157 and the TB 500, which is in there. But we also have KPV and we have GHKCU. And this it's for repair and restore largely overall. And a lot of people love this combination for its ability to lower inflammation in the body, but also lay down layers of collagen. So it's going to also build us back up. Um, so a lot of people like the hair and the skin and the nail benefit from a cosmetic standpoint, but from a tissue standpoint, laying down that collagen is also going to encourage the benefits of the BPC 157 because we're laying down more collagen. Um, and each one of these peptides has this great anti-inflammatory layer. So it's just layer after layer after layer of anti-inflammation. So together, the ability for it to restore and rest and recover and repair it's a remarkable compound of four peptides.
Yes. Okay, so my first thought was we would match this with the color brown. But the more I thought about it, I was like, no, this one needs some copper. And it's funny that copper is one of the key peptides in this combo.
CHKCU,
Yep.
copper.
There you go. Um, and copper is a higher vibration than brown. And so that's why I think it fits so perfectly. The color copper symbolizes warmth, vitality, balance, and the flow of energy. So it's sitting beautifully between the earthy tones of brown and the fiery energy of red. And copper brings a grounding yet uplifting feeling. And because of its deep connection to the earth and human history, it carries several distinct meanings across different contexts. So, for instance, the warmth and the comfort that it brings, unlike a loud or flashy gold or silver, copper feels down to earth, and yet it's very welcoming. It also is creative and it represents passion. It's again great for balance. One of the things that's fun is from a spiritual or metaphysical meaning. The color copper is the love metal. So in ancient traditions, copper was sacred to the goddesses of love and beauty. Think of Aphrodite and Venus. It symbolizes love and romance and emotional openness. It's an energy conductor. So no wonder, we're talking about the benefits of the skin and the hair and the nails. So many of the people, and you guys speak to this as well, the testimonials of people that are using the Clo are saying, people keep telling me I like they want to know if I've done injections like Botox or surgery, or they keep saying my skin looks so beautiful. And so I think that just fits right along with this color copper because it's such a bright and higher energy and vibration, and it brings that youthfulness back to our systems.
Cool.
I love it.
It's just
I
so
think I'm
cool.
gonna go back and listen to this one again. And if you're listening to it and you're like, I need to too, probably a wise idea. And share it with a friend. If you haven't yet shared our podcast, we would be honored to have you share this with a friend. Throw it up on your social media. Just be careful because it's being flagged,
Mm.
like many peptide conversations are. I actually got suspended over the weekend on Facebook, flagged too many of my posts, and they kicked me off of it for about 3 hours, and I was able to get back on. But please share this with a friend, with your socials. And Laurie, we want them to go buy your book. So remind them where they can do that.
Absolutely. The color constitution. It's got the fun, just the
You
face of the.
definitely need the hardcover. Cover. There you go.
Yes, this is a limited edition hardcover copy. I honestly have at this current point, I think maybe 33, 35 of these left that are on hand ready to ship. And so you can get it right from the website, thecolorconstitution.com. Side note, when you purchase the book, there are 15, probably closer to 17 at this point, book bonuses that you can get for free that come with the book. So at the end of every chapter, there's a QR code that leads you back to our free community. And all of those bonuses are inside of that community. So many fun tools that just will continue your introduction, your knowledge, and your expertise in how to use color to just get everything that you want, right? To be happier, to feel healthier, to have more harmony in your life. So, yep, that's where you would find it, thecolorconstitution.com. And there's lots of fun things that you can get there as well.
I love it. I'm going to bring mine in the house and put it on my nightstand because I need to start studying this for many reasons.
There
Um,
you go.
all right, Jess, where can they find you?
I just want to let you know while you were saying that I pulled it up. I have my checkout right here. I'm already got it pulled up to order it myself because looking at that book, it's stunning. So I can't wait to finish this when we're done and get that on the way. So you can find me b2bwithjess.com. That's my website. You can shop peptides there. We can start business there, all the things. But you can also follow me on Instagram where I do peptide and wellness education in general. And that is at justb.talkshealth. That's on Insta.
You can find me on my website at drkylieburton.com. This is Pep Talk, Peptides Unpacked. See you next time.